What is going on, people? And in this video we are going to be doing a high versus low comparison, and what I mean by that is this is the Range Rover Evoque, and this is possibly the most expensive Range Rover that Land Rover retail, and this is the Range Rover Evoque, and this is the cheapest Range Rover that Land Rover retail. Now, of course, neither of these are brand new, but as you can see, they are around the same era. In fact, there's only 18 months or 2 years separating these two vehicles. So the standard of interior trim is solely different based on the level that you are paying for, and not because of technological advances or new interior styling. So it's going to be quite a good comparison. So first of all, I'm sat in the interior of the Evoque, and now it does feel very, very good quality. Now there's not much leather here. There's stuff that looks like leather. It's definitely cushioned. It's not like a van. It's still very, very nice. First thing that hits me is these seats are hideous, and whoever spec'd these from the factory, Christ. That being said though, these seats are very, very rare, and it is quite unlikely that you will find these in another vehicle. So if you did want these seats, you're probably going to struggle to get them, for one. But if you didn't want these seats, probably every other vehicle out on the market right now has probably not got them. Now, this vehicle itself has not long been into Hamworthy Car Centre, and it is still awaiting preparation, and that is pretty visible because I usually drive these once they've been prepped by Hamworthy Car Centre, and they do them to a really good standard. So it's obvious that they have not had their hands on this quite yet, and I'm the first one to get inside this. The central console does feel like it's lacking ever so slightly, and you can really tell that this is the base model of the range. When you compare this to maybe the Velar that I drove earlier, which is the next level up from this, I guess, the interior center console was way, way more advanced than this. And they are, again, they're not too dissimilar in age. It's not like things have moved on a lot since that car was released. One good thing about this though is because you haven't got the leather dashboard, it's not going to be plagued with the notorious Jaguar Land Rover leather lifting issues on the dashboard, which even in climates like the UK, the leather eventually does seem to lift and shrink and stretch, and it doesn't always look quite as perfect as you probably want. You do have a very nice steering wheel, multi-function touch steering wheel though, and it's definitely not wanting. You've got electrically adjustable seats, you've got climate control, you've got heated seats. Of course, you've got aircon. Everything you'd expect from a premium vehicle is in this vehicle, and it's quite comparable to, like, I would say, a premium level Audi Q3 or something there or thereabouts. We do have a panoramic roof in here, and something what I'm not quite sure what it does. I don't know if anyone can tell me what this is for in here, but yeah, God knows. It almost looks like a glasses case, but I can't get it to move at all. But we have a lovely panoramic roof, which obviously will cover and open. You can even set that on the lock and unlock of these vehicles if that's something you like to do. In the middle here you have storage for 2 cups. You also have a fold-up armrest which has got some USB ports, an aux drive and a cigarette lighter. This obviously all slides shut, so you can have it all covered over as well. You do have a weird little storage area just behind this central console. Not quite sure what you'd use that for. I'd probably put some change in there and then it'll annoy you for the rest of your life rattling around. You have a very, very big glove box, lots of storage in there, 2 reasonable sized door cards, although you're probably not going to get big bottles in there. You're going to get a medium or small bottle in there. But overall, you got quite a premium feel from this, and of course I've had a little look around the Evoque just as we were setting it up for this shoot, and it is starkly different, but it's definitely not a cheap feeling here. It's nothing like the Q2 what I test drove some time ago. It is a premium feel, and everything is cushioned and it's nice. So in the back here there is a reasonable amount of room, but you have to remember this is the smallest Range Rover in Land Rover's range. But when I sit properly, I still have a gap within these, and that seat is set up for me as well, so you can definitely get 2 full-size adults in there if that's what you consider me to be. You do have a slight tunnel just there that could be obstructive for people's feet in the middle. Of course, you've still got the panoramic roof that runs right the way through back here. It's a very nice addition. In fact, I'd really like one of these in my personal car one day. I really like the panoramic roof. 2 storage pockets just behind each seat, and a very, very plasticky, and it's a very stark contrast to the rest of the vehicle. The back of this seat is very, very plasticky. Also in the centre, back here, very basic. Yeah, I'm taught the same plastic is down here as well, and this plastic is very van-like. The Isofix, we just have to part the 2 bits of leather here and slide the Isofix leg in. It's not my favourite mounting mechanism for Isofix, but it works, it does the job. The seats will fold in a 60-40 split, and there's also a nice little armrest just in the middle here that has 2 cup holders and a nice little storage area that wouldn't be used for much more than storing a couple of packs of chewing gum. In the door cards, you do have a very, very small area for storage of bottles, but you do have double speakers on the back doors here, so the people in the back aren't getting a restrictive listening experience as you would find in most cars. Probably at this price point, the double speakers in the back are quite a nice addition. So moving on to the boot then, or the trunk if you're from a stupid part of the world. We have quite a spacious area in the back here. We also have a lift up bit which houses a spare wheel. It's nice to see a spare wheel. It's quite often with cars like this nowadays you get in the inflation packs, so you don't have the option of a spare wheel. Of course that could be removed for more storage and you could have an inflation pack in there. We have 4 anchor down points just at the back here, which seem to be quite substantive, even better than some of the ones in the vans what I've just been looking at. And we also have tie down points on the back of each seat for an Isofix to throw over the tie down. The threshold on the back of this boot is very nice. I absolutely love a low threshold. It's nice to be able to sit on it, not have an issue, and this does the job perfectly. And I believe it's quite a signature mark for Range Rovers to have this low threshold just so you can sit on the back, just as I'm doing right now. The boot lid, or the tailgate, is electric closing. You press the button and that'll just shut down on its own. So the styling pack on this, although this isn't the top spec, it is by no means the bottom spec. You can get much worse off than this. You can get plastic bumpers or plastic non-painted bumpers, and this seems to have the black package on, which means basically you're getting black letters on the front and back. Certain bits of trim is wrapped in black rather than chrome. I think it looks very nice. I really like this colour combination. I'm not a massive fan of the interior, but then again, it's not a big deal. It could easily be changed. A leather specialist would probably happily change that for you, probably do it for free if you saw the pain you were going through. The wheels, again, very nice wheels, in with that black theme, nice black wheels on the vehicle. Overall, it's a very nice vehicle, and when you compare the price point of this to maybe a mid-range or a reasonably priced Q3, I'm not sure which one I prefer. It'd be nice to get a comparison of this and a Q3 in the future. Now, I'm not sure what I was expecting coming into this, because I'm aware that Range Rover are a premium brand, but I'm also aware that this is Range Rover's attempt at making a budget Range Rover that's suitable for everyone. So apparently this one is a 2.2 litre with 310 foot-pounds of torque, which I think is pretty reasonable. And it certainly goes. It's not a slow car. I seem to say that a lot about these cars recently. I don't think any car is that slow anymore, is it? But the power delivery is there. That's what I mean by that term. You're not waiting for it, you're not wanting for more. Now, of course, they will do a quicker one than this. They will probably do a slower one than this. So if that's something that does interest you, then maybe you need to shop around for a different spec of engine. But what I'm going to give you is the overall feel of this vehicle, and it feels fantastic. And I feel like this is maybe slightly bigger than a Q3, if not a very similar kind of audience to the people that would be shopping for a Q3. And I think between this and an Audi Q3 for me right now, I think I'd probably rather have this, awful seats aside. Maybe when I'm a big popular YouTuber, I can have both. How about that? But yeah, for now, I think this is one of the better vehicles of this size, in my opinion. It feels great. I think I'd want to get one a little bit better spec than this, and maybe you have to go newer to get it slightly better spec than this. And like I've said, it's not awful. I'm just aware of what it can be. And if you didn't see another one and got into this, you'd say that this was a very nice interior. But once you've seen another one, you can't unsee it. And this interior is definitely downgraded in comparison to some of the nicer ones what they do have out there. But I do think that this overall, the engine size, the spec of the vehicle, the outside of the vehicle is absolutely perfect. Before working with Hamworthy Car Centre, I was not a massive fan of Land Rover or Range Rover vehicles. But since working with them, obviously quite a large part of their stock is are Land Rovers and Range Rovers. And the more I seem to drive them, the more I seem to fall in love with them. These are very nice vehicles, and I can totally appreciate why people buy these time and time again. So whether this is your first Range Rover what you're going to buy, or whether this is an addition to your already existing Range Rover fleet, and maybe your wife wants something a little bit smaller, or your husband wants something a little bit smaller, then I think this is a fantastic car, and it certainly fills that gap. So if you're seeing this as a smaller version to your bigger Range Rover, then you're going to be happy. If you're seeing this as your first Range Rover, then again, I think you're going to be happy. But maybe if you're comparing this to a Range Rover Sport, or a cheaper version of the Range Rover Sport, or a Range Rover Velar, maybe not so much. And if I had the budget for a Range Rover Velar compared to this, I would 100% go for the Range Rover Velar. It's a beautiful car. And if you haven't seen that review, then please do go click the link above right now, and you'll see the review, and you'll see the stark contrast in interior quality compared to that. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you have, then please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. And if you've liked this vehicle or any other vehicles that you've seen on the forecourt and you want to test drive one or purchase one, then please do contact Hamworthy Car Centre. All their details are down below. Please do let them know that I sent you, because if I'm helping them sell the cars, then maybe they'll let me test drive more cars. So let them know that I sent you. I'm definitely not on commission. I do this for free. It's a mutual agreement what we've got. I get to use these cars, and they get a bit of publicity on my social media for these cars. So if you do purchase a car using my social media, please do let them know that it works. But that's all from me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.